Alrighty, so today I am going to talk about news that I simply cannot wait until Saturday, and I think this news deserves to have its own individual video because this is definitely a big news, and this is kind of a news that as I talked about before, how it feels like there might be a war going on between MLS and USL right now, where both of these leagues seems like they are potentially going to be butting heads with each other in the near future. Well, it could be sooner than we think it is, because today, it was announced that the USL is thinking about creating a top flight league of their own to rival with Major League Soccer, and I'm actually going to read this athletic article that was released. The article, of course, wrote by Paul Tenorio, says that move over Major League Soccer, a rival top flight men's league is coming to the U.S. The United Soccer League (USL) is set to launch a new Division One men professional league with the aims to expanding its presence in the U.S. and increasing the ability of top tier soccer across the continent. The USL currently fields two professional leagues, the second division known as USL Championship and the third division that is USL League One. It's now intended to have up to a 14-team first division league up and running in the 27-28 season that will operate as a separate and competing D1 entity from Major League Soccer. USL President Paul McDonough said that this was a natural next step for the league as it studied how to expand its impact after the 2026 World Cup, which the US, Canada, and Mexico will co-host. It's a key moment for soccer in this country, and as we see where this game is going, we want to be part of it, McDonough said in an exclusive interview with The Athletic. Taking this big initiative allow for the growth of the game throughout the country. The move to start a first division will give the USL a full free tier pyramid. Is a natural step toward promotion and relegation, which McDonough and the USL have outlined as a long-term goal for the league. The USL would be the first institute pro rel in the history of the sports in the US. We'll be been very public about trying to get the with the promotion relegation. McDonough said, "We're not there yet, but we'll continue to push forward toward with it." So yeah, this of course was the news, of course, that was dropped earlier this morning. And again, it is definitely a big news. And in some way, I kind of saw this coming. Again, you know what I said in the beginning of this video. I just had a feeling that both USL and MLS is going to compete with each other, and especially with the recent activity that is going on right now, you just had a feeling that even with the way that USL have said that they're very ambitious when it comes to creating a promotion relegation league. You just kind of had a feeling that eventually they're going to try to create a Division One league, and that the promotion relegation, of course, they talk about is going to involve both League One and League One and the championship, and then the new Division One league that they're going to create. So yeah, overall, this is definitely very fascinating. And again, this is going to be interesting to see whether or not one is this going to happen. I mean, they said it's going to potentially happen in the 27-28 season. And notice how they say 27-28. I wonder is this mean that from what we heard there's rumors that looks like MLS might be moving to a winter to spring, or more like a fall, winter, and spring kind of schedule instead of the usual spring to fall season that we see. Maybe that's going to be the same case as the USL as well. And then the other thing that I think I've heard a lot of people commented about this is that one, a lot of people have kind of compared this to these other league, because this is something that we have seen with the other professional sports league in the US. A great example of that is the NFL itself. Back in the 60s, we saw the NFL have a competing league like the AFL, and eventually, both league not only butted head against each other to be the top tier league and the top tier football league in the country, but ultimately they did merge with each other. And I wonder, is that going to be something we could see in the future as well, where we could see a merger between USL and MLS? Because I think that overall, we haven't really seen an example in any of the professional sports here in the US where two separate top tier league can survive each other and competing each other, and it will work out. And I certainly don't think that's going to be the same case with MLS and USL. I mean, MLS, obviously this is going to be an interesting statement of how they feel about this. I mean, I know they definitely don't want to see that happen, and also they'll probably might go to the U.S. Soccer Federation to talk about this and whether if this is legal on their hand, and whether we might even have a lawsuit that could be on hand, similar to what we saw with the NASL and MLS lawsuit that took a long time to clear. But either way, as what I said about how it feels like this is a recipe of a potential merger, that seems like it could be the case. And if it is a merger, I guess it could be something similar to what I said about the AFL merge to the NFL, where some of the AFL team eventually joined the NFL as part of the merger. Is there going to be a case where some of the USL teams are going to probably merge into MLS team after both side decided to agree, and whether we're going to actually have like a promotion relegation system where just like USL one and USL championship, is there going to be like an MLS League One and MLS championship kind of thing, or an MLS Division One where we might actually have promotion and relegation in this country? Because the promotion relegation, that's another very interesting topic to talk about, and I'm not gonna cover too much about it because we can have an endless discussion about the pros and cons in terms of the promotion and relegation system in this country, and whether or not if this country is really ready for this kind of system. But either way, this is definitely a big news. And again, I kind of had a feeling it was coming with the way that both of these leagues, they definitely do not like each other. I think you got to say, both Don Gabber and Paul McDonough, they clearly don't really want to see eye to eye at time, and especially Paul McDonough being a former executive for both Inter Miami and Atlanta United, and especially him getting in trouble with Inter Miami with the roster rule and getting fined. Uh, pretty big, and kind of also pretty much being forced to step down with Inter Miami. I'm pretty sure Paul McDonough is not going to have some pleasant talk with Don Gabbard, and that this can maybe kind of an attempt for him to either one get back at Don Gabbard and MLS in terms of that specific situation, or simply the fact that he wants to create this league known as USL and really kind of overpower MLS. And for those wondering if this does exist, do I start to not just do MLS content but also do USL content? I'm gonna think about it. I think that's gonna be a very interesting situation where do I do both MLS and USL content? I mean that's gonna be a lot of content for me to talk about. But yeah, we shall see whether or not if this, of course, is going to come true. I mean, it's still in the early stage. That this is still the USL just simply saying that they're going to potentially create a D1 league like this. We'll see whether or not that they follow that up. That's another thing that I think some people have commented, that the USL had these ambitious plans before, but they really never followed it up. It's just kind of all talk more than action, and we'll see whether or not if this is the case again, where this feels like it's more just talk and more some ambitious kind of talk from the USL and from Paul McDonough. But at the end of the day, it just never really materialized, and there could be a lot of reasons where it could never materialize. Mainly, it could be MLS just simply trying to plead their case to the U.S. Soccer Federation to not block this from happening. But either way, let me know in the comments below what do you think of this video, and let me know in the comments below what do you think of this news, because again, this is such a major news. I usually don't do these kind of video, but it's just such a big news in regards to the league, and especially the soccer landscape here in the US. I do think that there could be some big changes in the future, and this could be exactly that. And this is also going to be one of a kind too, because when you look at other leagues around the country, or other leagues around the world, that is, you don't usually see that. You don't usually see other country has two different first division league, because that's just not how it works. Well, there are definitely some exception, and usually those exception, it just does not work out well whatsoever, and it's more confusing than actually good, and more times or not when that does happen, eventually these countries find a way to just have both of these leagues to kind of merge with each other and just kind of form it's own top tier league. But let me know in the comments below what do you think of this news. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.